Welcome to the 6th ever Geny Mets podcast. Anilo Piro, Josh Einbinder here. Let's get it going. Last night, a comeback win. Duda was the savior last night. What a game. What does it mean to the Mets right now?
It's a huge confidence booster for this team. They got down early 2-0. DeGrom wasn't as sharp as you would have liked him to be in this game, but, they fought. They didn't give up any more runs, and they stayed in it. And it's a really, really big win for this team. They came from behind again. This is their 24th come-from-behind victory this year alone. So that's a lot of come-from-behind wins. But I think this one, with Flores 2 nights ago and now Duda last night, it's a huge momentum builder. And I really think it's going to help this team a lot and try to close out the series today against the Nationals.
Well, Lucas Duda, 2 homers, a double, a couple RBIs. This is a real power threat. Earlier in the year, he was in a deep slump. April was a great month for him. May started to slow down. June and July were pretty much awful until the late end of July, where he started hitting a bunch of homers. Is this a guy who you could see potentially hitting 35-plus homers in the next couple of years?
I really could. And the only reason I say that right now is because if you give him that protection in that lineup, people are going to have to pitch to him, as you saw last night. So in the bottom of the 8th, when the Mets were up, they chose to intentionally walk Cespedes to get to Duda because it was a lefty-lefty. But basically, my point is, before the Cespedes trade, Duda would have been hitting third, and you would have had to pitch to him because he has no one else to protect him in that lineup. So once you insert that power bat, it really adds depth and protection to the rest of the lineup, making it much harder for the opposing team to go around your big hitter. So if the protection is the way that it is for the rest of the season and next year, and you add David Wright back in that lineup, and with the strength how good Wilmer Flores has been playing lately, I think you're going to see Duda's numbers go up. 35 is kind of high, but if you could get him, he's already at 20 this season, you get him 30, 25, around there, and he drives in all those runs, I think it's going to be a good place for him to stay.
And Lucas Duda became the first Met since 2008, that was Beltran, Wright, and Delgado, to have 2 consecutive seasons with 20-plus homers, which is something we haven't seen at Citi Field. We haven't seen anyone really in the few years Citi Field's been here in Queens. We haven't really seen anyone tear it up there. And let's shift subjects a little bit. The Mets are doing really well at Citi Field this year. I'm not sure why that works. In past years, they've been god-awful there and really nice on the road. Why do you think all of a sudden changes here?
And it's the moves in the front office that are drawing fan base. Yesterday was a sellout crowd of almost 45,000. And, before that, say 2012, 2013, those seats were half full. There was no environment, really. There was just a few people, or not a few, but half of the stadium, cheering on the Met team with some of the other fan base. And now you see it's like 90% Met fans, and the stadium's rocking, and everyone's into the game. And, I think it just makes it a way more fun place to play and a place that you want to play at. And even Jason Worth, last night of the Nationals, came out saying that he really enjoyed the environment, and he lost last night. He says it's great. He hasn't played against the Mets in Citi Field competitively until unless the last time he did that was when he was with Philly. And he says, it's just a great environment to play in. It adds a competitive nature. And I really think that with the moves the front office have made, it's sparked more interest in the fan base, and the fan base is buying more into what the Mets are going to do here.
Well, tonight it's Jordan Zimmerman and Noah Syndergaard, a.k.a. Thor, who will take the mound for their respective teams at 8:08 on ESPN. What are you looking for in today's game?
It's going to be a pitcher's duel. But as I said yesterday, it's going to be way harder for Zimmerman now to dominate like he has in the past with the new lineup. And, Thor has an ERA under 2 now, and Zimmerman has an ERA above 3. So Thor right now is a more ready pitcher, as you could say. He's been pitching better than Zimmerman has lately. And I'm just really looking forward to seeing, Thor come out, do what he does, shut them down. And I'm waiting now for Yoenis to start getting it going. I'm waiting for Duda to start getting it going again. Flores, I'm ready for this. And I think it's going to be really awesome because the team has a chance to tie it up for the division. And basically what I'm seeing tonight is that they're going to come out energized like they have the last 2 nights, and they're going to get it going early.
Is Yoenis Cespedes your guy for tonight's game? Do you think he's going to do anything to help contribute to a win tonight?
I think he is. I don't know exactly what his impact's going to be, but I'd say the two guys you got to watch out for tonight is going to be Cespedes and Murphy. Murphy went 0 for 4 last night. Cespedes 0 for 3 with an intentional walk. And I don't blame Cespedes. I mean, it's their first game, and you even heard Gary and Keith out there. He's lunging his at-bats because it's just nerves, and I think he's going to settle in nicely today. And Murphy hasn't been so hot lately, so I think he's going to start getting it going. And those are my two guys, Murphy and Cespedes, to watch out for, and I think they're going to be real impact players for the game tonight.
All right, let's take a look at the upcoming series against Miami. Pretty much the schedule the rest of the way of the season is against teams that are below 500. Now, Miami, is a must-win series or a series that you just have to take 1 out of 3?
I'm going to be very upset if they take 1 out of 3 against Miami. It's at home, right?
Road.
Okay, well, it's Miami. You have to beat them. I know you're not going to have your three-headed monster out there, DeGrom, Harvey, Syndergaard, but you're going to have Neese, Bartolo, two of those pitchers out there. And, Neese has been very nice as of late. And I think this is going to be a great series for Bartolo to get back on track. Not a huge amount of pressure. It's not that Miami's not very good. I think it's going to be big, but I think they got to take at least 2 or 3, or they got to go for the sweep. Because those are just now, in this part of the season, these are games that you're playing to boost up your win column.
Why do you think Miami's been so bad this year? I mean, they were supposed to compete with the Mets. Obviously, they got rid of Latos and Morse now, so pretty much they're saying this season's over with. But, they've kind of been a surprise this year. Their pitching looked good. Fernandez was coming back from Tommy John surgery. Their lineup looked decent, but really it hasn't translated.
And I was really confused on what people said they were going to be like a playoff contender this year. I never really thought highly of them. Maybe it's because I know them better than other people do because they play in our division. But, I think it's just a mixture of things. Stanton went down. You didn't get Fernandez back to the middle of the season. The coaching was atrocious in the beginning of the year. And, D. Gordon went down eventually. And, it's just been a mixture of injuries. And, I just don't think those boys bonded very well together. And, it takes a lot for a team to play well. And I think that's what you're going to see with the Mets is, these people have been playing with each other since 2012, 2013, 2014, now this year, and they've really, gelled together. And the pieces that they've added are all complementary pieces that aren't necessarily thriving in the spotlight. So they're just pieces that you pick up and add that improve your team. And so I think the guys like the environment, and they gel together way better than Miami has. And I think Miami kind of did what San Diego was going after, and they went after a quick rebuild. And, anything didn't need in the offseason. They stole D. Gordon away from the Dodgers, and he's going to be good with them for a few years. And I just think they went about the rebuild process way too fast. And it's really pleasant to see what the Mets have been doing with their rebuild process because they took their time, but I think it's paying off.
I feel like you're right. You can go 2 different routes in rebuilding. You can do a quick one or a 4 or 5 year plan, and which is what the Mets did. Would you say that's more of a beneficial plan? You're getting higher draft picks the more years you go into your rebuild, which will be ready for years to come, which we got. We got Nemo, we got Geny, we got Conforto, Don Smith, and some of them are in low A, some of them are in double A, but, they're going to help contribute to this offense in a couple years versus the Marlins, who kind of traded away some of their top prospects. Andrew Heaney went to Los Angeles for D. Gordon, and then the Dodgers traded him to Los Angeles. Would you say that 5-year plan, though, is more beneficial?
I haven't seen a quick rebuild work yet, I don't think. At least not off the top of my head, unless you're the old school, not old school, like the 08 Yankees who just buy their entire team. But as far as a quick rebuild, I haven't seen it work. I mean, San Diego tried. Now Miami kind of tried.
Now Miami's tried twice, too, when you think about it. 2012 with the Reyes and the Burley.
Yeah, they tried once. They failed. At that, it exploded 1 year. And then now you got Toronto going for it. And I think if anyone's going to be more poised for it to work, it's going to be Toronto just because of the players they already had. And they added Troy Tulowitzki and David Price and then Ben Revere. So it wasn't like they were adding a Jose Reyes, a huge amount of players that are injury-prone. Even though Tulo is injury-prone, you're getting more established players in the league. And I think the 4 or 5 year rebuild is just the way to go. I mean, you're going to rack up those draft picks, and your young studs are going to be up in the majors. I mean, look at the Mets right now. Jacob deGrom is their oldest pitcher going into next year. He'll be 27 at the start of next year. So that's going to be your right there for your pitching staff. And then the thing is, when you rebuild those young players aren't going to cost very much. So then this allows the team to spend. Like they went out and got Dyer. I know he hasn't panned out, but they spent and they got him. Went out and you got Granderson. And now you go get the Spedich, you get Kelly Johnson, your Uribe. You can, with the flexibility that brings the young players, it brings, income flexibility to go out there and spend and improve your teams in different ways.
Yeah, you're right on that part. So, basically, the Phillies just traded away Cole Hamels to the Rangers, pretty much starting their rebuild. Now, they got more established top prospects who are in Double and Triple A, but would you say they're a little late on the rebuild? I mean, it took them years to trade Cole Hamels. Now they're finally talking about an Utley trade and possibly a Ryan Howard trade. I mean, they're kind of a little late. They should have started their official rebuild at least 2 years ago. Now they're going to not be able to contend until 2018 or 19.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying there. I mean, I wouldn't say they were late, but they were a little late on it. I mean, they knew they weren't going to be very good last year, so I think they should have started pulling the trigger on that. But, it's kind of hard because no one really wants to chase Utley. No one really wants a Ryan Howard. They're lucky to have gotten Jimmy Rollins out of there. The big pieces that people wanted were Ben Revere, Cole Hamels, all those people. So I think when you're put in the position that the Phillies are in, it's hard to move those players that you owe so much money to still. And, I think they're finally trying to get going, but then again, this past trade deadline, you would have had to try to push Ryan Howard. You had to try to push Chase Utley. You have to get rid of those veteran players that aren't really doing anything for you. And then to go along with that, though, with the Cole Hamels trade, they got a lot of prospects. I heard they got 4 of the top 15 prospects in the Rangers system. Not their top 4, but 4 of 15. So, they got a lot for Hamels, so I don't think that's a huge concern now. But I think they did start a little bit late, so it might take them a little bit longer. But if they're going to go the same route that I guess the Mets went with building up a young nucleus, they're going to be a dangerous team in 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, and they already have pieces like Michael Franco and Odubel Herrera, who hit a shot last night, second deck at Citizens Bank Park. That'll do it for the 6th Geny Mets podcast. You can put it in the books. Mets game tonight, 8:08 p.m. They look for the sweep of the Nationals. See you later.